Hi there, I'm Desiree Dubois, founder of An Empowered Woman and Let's Talk Success. And today I had the pleasure of speaking with Aaron Young, who is the founder CEO of Laughlin Associates. Good afternoon, Aaron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Desiree. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Now that I get a chance to catch up with you, do you feel empowered?
You look good. You always look beautiful, though. But it's wonderful to be with you. I haven't seen you for several months.
It has been. So you've been busy. What have you been up to?
Doing a lot of speaking. It's the end of the year, so we're doing lots of stuff at the office, at the company, and I've got a couple of books coming out in 2015. So I've been scrambling to get all that stuff finished. I guess the thing I'm most excited about right now is I have a podcast that's called The Lookout that's going to be starting on January 1st. So I don't know how we'll ever share that with people because they can't do anything until January 1st. But I'm pretty excited about The Lookout. It's going to be a great new adventure for me.
What is it about?
Well, for 32 years I've been starting and building multi-million dollar companies, and I don't know if it was because I turned 50. I don't know what happened, but I thought I should start telling some of the stories of things that have happened to me as I've traveled around, had companies in different parts of the world and offices all over the place. I've been in some pretty crazy places and had interesting experiences that taught me business principles. So the show will be about 12 minutes long, and it'll just be me telling a story, giving a principle and some nuts and bolts, how to take action, and that'll be kind of it. It should be a lot of fun.
It will be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Well, we'll make sure that everybody has a way of being able to contact you and getting that information. So tell us about Laughlin
Right.
Associates.
Well, you said I was the founder CEO. I kind of wish that was true. I don't know. The founder's dead. So
Right.
when the founder, Harley Laughlin, passed away a number of years ago, I had the opportunity to buy the company, and my business partner and I did that back in 2001, and then we dramatically expanded the range of services that Laughlin provides. Of course, we help tens of thousands of small business owners start their companies, follow all the rules so they stay legal, get the best tax advantages they can, really try to give them the skills that they need so they can build a business that's bigger than them, that turns into an asset, not just a glorified job. And that's what we've been doing for all these years. And I got a great staff, and it's been great. This is our 43rd year.
Wow. So that's mostly with corporations and their legal identities. Is that correct? Being able to
Yeah,
establish the foundation and the legal.
corporations, LLCs, nonprofits, get them set up, and then there's all these things that companies are supposed to do that almost none of them do. And so we help with a lot of do-it-for-you kinds of services, so small businesses stay focused on making money, and then we do all that little ticky-tacky stuff that business owners and entrepreneurs hate to do.
And I know you mentioned small businesses and entrepreneurs, but you also work with some larger companies. Is that so?
Well, yeah, I talk about small business because a small business has less than 100 employees. Most of us think of small business as somebody that's working from their spare bedroom or from like a realtor from their car. But we do work with a number of companies that are in the tens of millions, or in revenue. We have large developers, movie studios, amusement parks, resort hotels that use us. So really, it's not only small businesses, but it's closely held businesses where you have one or two owners, and those folks are not interested in doing a lot of that nitpicky work that they need to have done. They'd rather stay focused on building their company, and so they hire us to do it. And luckily, like I said, about 46,000 currently are using us to do those kinds of services. I didn't really tell you what those services are, but people could look us up. I don't want to take away from your program, but we've helped well over 100,000 business owners over the years. And as I said, now about 46,000 current clients.
Wonderful. Well, one of the things that I admire, I've heard your stories, all your different stories about some of the successes that you've had in your businesses. And I want to share with our listeners today, what are some of the components, since we're talking about success, what are some of the components or the things that you feel were most important in contributing to your success?
Well, it's a good question. Actually, remember I said I've got a couple books coming out this year. One of them is I've already dropped the title in here. I sort of snuck that in on you. I have a book coming out this year called Build a Business That's Bigger Than You, Creating an Asset, Not Just a Glorified Job. And what that is because I've built a number of companies that could function in my absence, where I didn't have to be there creating the magic every day. I thought I should write down how I've done that and teach other people. So I guess the key elements are, one is you have to really enjoy what you're doing. You've got to love getting up in the morning and going to do that work, and you've got to love the people that you're working with and the kind of the partners, clients, affiliates. You've got to really like it. You got to want to be in the mix all the time. That's a big one. Another one is you want to not only do you want to surround yourself with great people, but it's really important that your staff have the opportunity to make their job kind of their own. So in other words, I can give a job description to 3 people and they all sit right next to each other in the office with the same job description, same cubicle, same computer, and same phone, all that. What I want to do is make sure that I give them enough latitude that they can attack the job in their own personal way. Make it their own, make it feel like they're using their personal skills and talents and creativity to accomplish the task. What I find is that when people are empowered to not only make it their own, but also to take risks, to solve client problems, to have authority to make decisions in the moment and not have to go up through multiple layers of bureaucracy to get something solved for a client, what ends up happening is the employee feels good, the customer feels good, business moves forward, and you don't have to be there to handhold everybody through every situation. Your people have got to have permission to do things, and you have to not get mad at them if it's not the decision you would have made. You know, then if it wasn't a decision you liked, you could always do training. But in the meantime, you've got to respect your people enough to let them do their job, and they know how to catch things that are going sort of sideways. You know, you have to have good reporting. I guess the last thing is, you as the owner, you need to never stop selling. You know, you need to always be a big advocate for your company. You need to stay in the middle of what's happening in your industry. You need to be watching what's going on in the world to see how changes are coming and try to get in front of them. You want to ride the front end of the wave. You don't want to be like, you know, trying to swim to catch up with the movement. And I don't know, those are a few things that come immediately to mind that will help a company be successful. They've certainly helped us to be successful.
One of the things that I admire and I remember most is that your involvement, your dedication, and your love for your family, your spirituality, and it's, you know, that balance that you have, that time that you have, and you've been married for a very long time. You have wonderful children. They're involved in your business, so that certainly shows that there's a relationships there. What do you think has contributed to that? And there's some things that you've said over the years that, you know, make you the man that you are, so that regardless of what business you're in, you're still that personal success.
Well, that's an awfully nice thing for you to say. My wife and I are coming up on our 28th anniversary.
Yeah.
She was 19 and I was 22 when we got married, and we regularly sort of marvel at the fact that those 2 kids were able to find each other, and that we've kind of grown up together and raised each other to a certain extent. And I'm blissfully happily married, Desiree. You know that. I've told you that before. I really adore my wife, and we have 5 great kids, and they're all good, kind, sweet people. And I guess the principles that we've used to raise kids and has been sort of the same as what I just described with my employees. You have to give them standards and family values and, you know, the traditions that your religious beliefs might suggest, and you want to teach them high standards, but then you also want to love them through all the mistakes that they're going to make and all the challenges they're going to go through trying to grow up into fully developed people. I'm delighted to say that my kids who are mostly grown now. 4 of the 5 are out of the house, and they're 3 of them are 2 are married, one's in a very serious, almost married, getting married in May, and the other one's in a serious relationship as well. They're all good, kind people who want to make a difference in the world, who want to help other people, who want to give service. And I've never been worried about what accolades, what degrees, what paychecks they were getting. What I wanted for them was that they be happy, that they be kind, that they give service, and that they liked each other, and hopefully like mom and dad, which I think they do. And
Sure they do.
and in life, I'll just tell you, people always say, how do you stay so happily married for 28 years? And here are my 2 tips. One is, so I don't know if this is mostly women or men listening to this interview, but I'm going to tell what I tell all the guys who ask me, what's my secret sauce? And here it is. One is, never stop dating your wife. Never take for granted. Keep planning stuff. Keep bringing flowers. Keep giving cards. Keep doing little things so that your sweetheart knows that you were thinking of her when you were not with her. And so keep on dating. And the other one, and I have to say my wife has been equal contributor to this with me. We committed to each other early on. We knew what each other wanted to do with this early phase of our life and getting married and beginning a family and raising a family. We were both committed to the other one having what they wanted. And we've remained completely committed to the other person being able to blossom and become fully realized, be all that they can be. I have an amazing wife. I mean, she's freaking awesome. She has all these things that she does, these talents that she paints and she sells her paintings. She's a life coach and she's got unbelievable clients that she coaches. She does a radio show. She does a blog that has thousands of subscribers. She's just this gifted woman, and she's helped me to accomplish the things I've accomplished. And what happens is we end up being interesting to each other through phase after phase after phase of our life, instead of one kind of going one way and the other going another. So that's been a blessing for us.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Because when we talk success, many times, we're referring to the business, we're referring to the money and the wealth and so forth, and the accolades that go along with it. But there are so many other levels of success, and what you just shared with us is truly the ultimate success, because that type of success, that kind of love and support, will ride you through any storm that you go through, especially the storms of being an entrepreneur. And also, you were talking about your children and your models. The reason why we're so passionate about working with women in our Let's Talk Success program, we've been doing it. We started it years ago when we did it originally as teleclasses and calls. Then we did it as live events where the women would share. You've been to some of those. We had the women sharing. And then we also did last year some interview type shows where we interviewed them and they shared their stories, their challenges, their victories, and their secrets to success. Now we're taking it to another level where we are interviewing them in their homes, in their offices, just to make it a little more interesting so people can see how they live and see their lives and, really be able to feel up close and personal with them. But more importantly, we want to be able to create more programming and live models of successful women. Because right now on the media, Aaron, as you must know, in television, the programming, there's not a lot of positive influence. The people that are deemed successful are either, they're reality shows or housewives or the screaming, fighting, and things that are not. And a lot of the younger people are modeling that as their success, as their idea of success. So we want to bring women who have truly, gone through the journey and have successful lives, and then they can utilize those as models, women that actually are living the life and have the same accolades and the same lifestyle, but can done it a different way, so they can see that there are other options, so that they have that good role model as your children did have. What are your thoughts on the programming and the models that are available for, we say women, but men and women as far as success?
Well, I think you're right on spot. The media, the television, whether it's the news or, I've noticed that if you watch CNN or Fox or, well, I guess any national news, but especially the cable news, it looks like they've gone and gotten both male and female models to be reading the news. Now I know these are smart people, but you really have to be beautiful to be on TV anymore. If you, on, well, I shouldn't say every, but virtually everything we see, television, movies, so has got to keep going to a new layer of salaciousness. You know, another shock, another thing that we just can't believe somebody did that on TV. Oh my gosh! You know, it's even the nice shows like NCIS or Bones or some of these things that families can watch. They're still cutting bodies open, pulling organs out, and you know, you're seeing stuff that we would have never seen back in the days of Family Ties and Cosby Show, right? I mean, you would have just never seen that stuff. So when I was a kid, or the Brady Bunch, they never did any kind of so I do think it's really critical for kids, for young people that are coming up, to have real life role models of people who are accomplishing real things, not fantasy, fictitious things. I think it's really important that all of us see real people who are striving against real odds and who are accomplishing, who are making progress. It doesn't have to be to become a player in the NBA or somebody on some reality show like you mentioned, but a real person who's taking risks and making progress, stepping up the line. So I'm really delighted that you guys are going to be bringing real success stories of real people for others who are looking for inspiration and looking for kind of social proof that you can transcend where you are today. You can transcend a difficult situation. You can accomplish really cool stuff. You don't have to be a multi-zillionaire Hollywood celebrity to do that. You can be a regular person in a regular neighborhood doing really incredible things, having a lifestyle that very few enjoy, making money that very few enjoy, and being surrounded by people who celebrate your gifts and celebrate your vision. I mean, I love that, and it's why I love going to things where you and I run into each other, because we're surrounded by people who are regular people who are doing really great stuff, and it's a pleasure to feel that energy.
Well, thank you, and we're so excited because now with the advantages of the internet, we're going to distribute it as a mobile app, a mobile magazine. So it'll be able to go through 11 countries. We have over 1 million access at this point, and we're just going to be able to share it so they can be located at their phones or their iPads. Will be available to them. It will be spotlighting these different people, and we're really excited about that. So I appreciate your contribution, and I can appreciate your support. And in closing, what empowering thought would you like to leave our listeners with today?
You know, I was asked the other day on a panel, it was a really fun panel, and one of the last questions was, do I have an inspirational quote or some sort of mantra that I live by? And one of my very favorite quotes is to believe your beliefs and doubt your doubts. Believe your beliefs and doubt your doubts. As entrepreneurs, as we're working and striving to develop things, people around us don't often have the same vision that we do. And sometimes the people that love us the most have the greatest doubt about what we're doing. And we can start to feel like maybe we're a little crazy. But we're not crazy. We just see the world differently than most everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so when you're in something and you feel it in your heart and you feel it in your gut, just remember, believe your beliefs and doubt your doubts. And you'll get through. You'll get by. And you'll accomplish things that everybody else will just stand back and go, wow, how did you do that? That's amazing.
Well, you are amazing, and I thank you so very much for your contribution. You've always been a great support, and I wish you the best in 2015. And until we meet again, stay empowered.